this last day.
Thank goodness. I mean, it's been fun, but thank goodness.
Yes.
And we are at our last 2 hours of our drive.
Yeah.
And we're bored.
We are, but wait,
we want to talk about something.
We want to talk about.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. We're doing a video because we're trying to pass time,
but also
we have something.
we had a topic.
Yeah.
So the topic is. Oh wait, you don't know?
I mean, kind of, but go ahead and I'm driving too.
Well, I think as we're seeing all these schools and comparing them, one thing that has occurred to us is that no school has it all.
Right.
And the schools that exist are just the schools that are out there.
And that's your choices.
Okay, so I think sometimes in, online reading parents and, talking to parents sometimes, there's this sense that like there is the perfect school for every single deal breaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
some school's going to check every single box.
There's going to be some perfect school that is both like exactly what your kid wants and offers merit aid and offers
they can get into.
Right, and they can get in, and they have the club sport your kid wants, and they have the club your kid wants, and they have the coursework
and the minor.
Right, and the major and the minor. I'm just like, that school doesn't exist for the most part.
Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I guess it also.
It might happen. And that's
amazing. It might. I mean, I'm really happy with the kid my school is at. I mean, you're happy with,
You just said my kid, the school is at.
My school. Oh yeah. At the school my kid chose.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. It's been a long.
Oh my God.
I think a good example of this is my younger son, which we've talked about before, who I think is at a really good school.
Yeah.
That checks a lot of boxes, but maybe a couple things aren't perfect, and so he's applying to all these other schools.
He's looking at transferring.
He's on a search for the perfect school, and I'm not sure he's going to find it, quite frankly.
No, I don't. I don't have a good feeling about the outcome.
Yeah. So I think also working with families, we always start by asking them, what are you looking for? What's your deal breakers? What do you really want? And those are great things to talk about and to start your search around, but not to build a really healthy list where you're going to have likelies and matches or targets, whatever you call them. You've got to be able to bend a little bit for some of these things. Otherwise, your list is going to be very, very small, which is not a good place to be.
You know what it made me think of is, have you ever watched Indian Matchmaker?
Yeah.
I told you about this, right?
I mean, I've watched it.
Okay. Have you really?
Yeah, because I want to do homeschool matchmaker.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm going to match up homeschool college students together.
I didn't realize that was the impulse. Okay, so on that show, there's the woman who's the matchmaker, and she meets with the young people who are decided that they're ready to get married and want to explore matches, and they'll be like, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and she's just like, and then it cuts to her on the camera being like, it's not gonna happen. She needs to learn a bit, and sometimes I feel like parents are that way, and they can't hear themselves, and the kids too, they can't hear themselves, that it's just like the number of things that they think are all gonna line up.
Right.
And I get that it's hard. It's 4 years. It's a lot of money. You want to be somewhere that's going to work, but there's got to be compromises somewhere.
I especially think I get a little frustrated sometimes when find a few schools that check almost every single box, but just one is missing, and families are like, nope. And it's like, but it might be a good one. There's nothing. Yeah. It's always worth it to apply if a school.
Yeah, these compromises might be. Yeah.
And you never know after you do an admitted student day somewhere. Sometimes students are so surprised what they end up choosing at the end. Because it's not the school they thought they were in love with at the beginning.
Yeah. How many times have we had that happen?
Oh,
so many times.
So many times.
And even, I'm thinking about my kid's college search and how he started with certain ideas of what he wanted in a school. And in fact, we looked at several liberal arts schools, and he was like, nope. And we're at the last minute, he was like, I think I would also like to apply to this liberal arts school. And I was like, okay. And where is he? He's at that liberal arts school.
And very, very
very happy. And it's so funny too, because I mean, he really did want something different, and we saw a bunch of schools, and he almost picked one.
Yeah.
But this ended up being the place that was right for him, and he felt most comfortable.
Right.
And he has no regrets. So I think, I don't know.
Even if it's not perfect in every way.
Yes. And he picked a school that's really not perfect. I mean, I will say. And we've just seen a lot of schools that are really not perfect. Like, I was thinking about the number of schools. I mean, like, okay, like, so today I was at Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah.
And so that's like a perfect school.
Which I just have to say, I was in bed. So.
It was, you guys, it was like 25 degrees.
I could not get up.
It's spring, but like, it was not, anyway. And I was walking around. It is like a perfect school by some measures, you know, like it has a lot, and it's really hard.
School.
Yeah, absolutely, it's hard to get into. But you know, the school that in the last week that I saw that I liked best was probably DePaul.
Yeah, you loved DePaul.
I did.
DePaul is like really touched.
But it's not a perfect school.
No, not at all.
No, I mean,
right there with the food.
Oh yeah, the food was not all that great. It's so funny talking to students about the food. They're all like, the one guy we were talking to, and then the girl who was sitting next to him, and she was, every time he would try to be like mitigate the food, she would make this noise like, like, and I was like, wait, is it really that bad? And she's just like, she just like couldn't answer.
And then he started to open up. You know,
Yeah.
Like, not good at all. Yeah, DePaul would not be perfect on paper for a lot of families.
For most
but
anyway.
Actually, going around the campus and everything, it has a lot to offer. It really does.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is that you have to kind of, and also it's, you know, that's the thing too, like some families are like, well, we don't want a religious school. But then you go to a school like that, and it's like, oh, you know, there's all these signs up everywhere that are super progressive.
Yeah.
And everywhere. And so it's like, I think that that was very much the culture. So it just, there's a push and pull here about, you know, what's the right choice,
so
you know?
Building upon that, I would say we also saw Northwestern that day.
Oh,
which
yeah.
on paper is
a
perfect school for a lot of people.
For a lot of students, yeah.
And it just did not.
Wasn't very walkable.
No.
It was not a very friendly campus.
No. So you never know. You never know. That day surprised me. So that was a good day. I'm glad we spent a day in Chicago looking at colleges, because it changed our perception of some things.
I think
really helpful.
But then that's, you know, I think that this is the, you know, getting to visit places helps. But sometimes students visit places and, you know, they kind of jive with a place and then not with another place. And it doesn't necessarily line up perfectly, like, with their list of what they want.
Where they jive.
Yes. Sometimes we're surprised too. Like, sometimes we're telling a student, you know, visit this place, or, you know, we think you'd love this. We can totally see you here. We can totally see you here. They go there and they're just like, nope. And we're like, okay. I mean, because what can you do?
Like, well, and then they're like, but I love this school. And then I'm like, why? And they're like, the vibe. I'm like, okay. I got to try to find more vibe schools.
I think it's.
But you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. That's my point. Maryland! Woo! Okay.
Sorry.
We just got to Maryland.
Finally.
Thank God.
I feel
look at all the green.
I know. We got to Maryland and it got greener.
Okay, what am I doing? I'm just going straight. Okay, all right. And the speed limit just went up to 70.
Finally.
It was 55
Thank you,
way
Maryland.
too long. Okay. All right, we are really done with this trip.
We really are.
We'll be in DC soon.
Yeah. I guess my takeaway here is colleges, the colleges that are out there are the colleges that are out there. It's a menu. It's not a kitchen.
It's a little bit like dating apps.
Ooh.
I wish there was a college dating, college app that was set up.
Yeah.
And people are always like, but they didn't check all my boxes, or this might be a red flag, or blah blah blah. And it's just like,
what's that? What's the TV show? Liz Lemon. That's a deal breaker.
That's a deal breaker. 30 Rock.
30 Rock. Yes.
30 Rock.
That's a deal breaker, ladies.
And some things truly are deal breakers.
No, some things are. And if, like, for example, if a religious school is a deal breaker, it's a deal breaker.
It is what it is.
If being in the South or being in cold weather, if being in certain places, if those are deal breakers, they just are.
breakers. I mean, that's
Finances
huge.
are deal breakers for
Yeah,
sure.
100%.
And but to me, that's what drives the menu.
Yeah.
Is the what you can afford.
Hey, we're not gonna die.
No.
Not today. Not on camera. That would not be good.
And that was the last video they ever
That
made.
was the last video they ever made.
Okay, I'm gonna cut us off.
Okay.
We made a video.
Woohoo!
Last day.